Jess here, and today we're taking on the Blondery. So the Blondery is a luxury blondie bakery created by Chef Auzerais Bellamy, and they make fancy blondies. If you haven't had a blondie before, it's kind of like imagining a giant sheet of chocolate chip cookie. It's going to be a bit denser than chocolate chip cookie, more brown sugar noted, but really, really tasty. Blondies are actually one of my favorite desserts to make at home, so I'm excited to try this luxury elevated version today. So first we have the birthday cake variety box, which I had to go and check my email to be sure. This is $35. These are very small. They smell wonderful. I'm really getting that cinnamon sugar from one of the blondies here. I feel like I'm staring down truffles in terms of the size. I do love the execution of the box though. This is really beautifully done. The blondies are very stable in here. It feels well designed and well executed. I just feel weird spending more than 20 bucks on this, to be honest. Still, the flavors we've got are birthday cake, pecan and salted caramel, cinnamon sugar, and Brooklyn Blackout, which is gluten-free. A little scary to get them out. While the cinnamon sugar does smell wonderfully cinnamon sugary, I feel like I'm holding a bar of snickerdoodles. Cheers. So it is wonderfully tender and soft with quite a strong cinnamon note to it. Like you think of cinnamon sugar as being kind of bright, warming cinnamon, and this has some sharpness and an edge to it that I really appreciate. And the crumb is dense and tender and almost slightly fudgy in that softness you can get with really warm, soft baked blondies. Because it's so soft, I'm not really getting the caramelized edges or bottom that I associate with blondies, but it's still really a good soft cookie. Next, let's try birthday cake. It looks like an Oreo. So this has cocoa noir blondies with vanilla cake batter filling tossed in confetti. Cute. It smells very much like vanilla, but like vanilla frosting. Cheers. You know, I really feel like I'm eating cake batter. It is far more fudgy, far more dense, and very smooth. More like eating a fudge truffle. Or even a brigadeiro. The sprinkles add just a bit of crunch. You got vanilla forward with a cocoa undernote. So if you like Oreos and cake batter, this is really good. Next, let's try the Brooklyn Blackout. That is really hard to say. It smells like chocolate frosting. There's a chocolate cocoa sweetness to it, along with a little bit of a vanilla marshmallowiness that I associate with really good chocolate frosting, and even kind of a malty note. Cheers. So it'll be hard to tell on camera, I think, because it's such a dark color to all of this, but there's a layer of 72% ganache on top of this that really is quite dense and eats like a really thick frosting on top of an already dense chocolate blondie. So it comes off eating really more like a solid truffle. And because there is a ganache on here, you're getting a fair bit of chocolate flavor along with a lot of creaminess and silkiness. And I will say the actual ding I have is the ganache, not because it's bad, it's because I can't tell if it wants to be a cake truffle or ganache or gâteau au chocolat or a blondie with chocolate on top, and that might just be because of the density. I think if the blondie was a little bit taller, so it could be a clear blondie and a clear topping, this would be amazing. And I just personally want to see that blondie really sing. I should mention, the more I like a dessert, the more I start kind of nitpicking it because I know it has potential, so that's why I want to see this be perfect. And last of this set, we have the pecan and salted caramel, which is the most of what I was hoping for. You've got what looks like a traditional blondie under here with nice chunks of chocolate and a really thick caramel layer with a huge amount of pecans. And it smells like sweetness and pecans, and I'm really here for that. Cheers. This is a ridiculously good example of a sum of its parts dessert because you have a tender blondie base with a little bit of chocolate in it, just enough to give you a bit of cocoa note popping out every so often. And then you have a really thick, luscious, soft caramel with a really nice vanilla butteriness to it. And then because you have the chunks of pecans, these large chunks, they give a soft bite to it. It's not going to be really crunchy or texturally intense, but you have soft and butteriness and caramel sweetness, and then it all melds together into pecan salted caramel. This is one where everything works right because the elements have been done exactly as needed. And that sounds a bit silly, but hear me out. If these pecans were smaller, they would meld into the caramel and be a different experience. If the chips were bigger or smaller, they would overwhelm or be lost within the blondie. My only complaint, this is it. I personally like a crispier blondie. That's it. I am just seriously impressed at the care and attention to detail to make this work at this many levels because I know how hard it is to get something like this just right. It is really, really well done. Also, I wish you sold the caramel individually. Okay, this was a delight, especially the pecan and salted caramel. That is really, really well done. My only real problem right now is the price. which is why I was also excited to pick up the trim bags as they were on sale. So it's 3 of these for I think $40-ish. I'll put the price here. They were on sale when I got them for about $22, which was awesome. The deal with these is they're mystery bags. They're gonna be 1 flavor per bag, and so if you have any allergies or things you really don't want to eat, it's not necessarily the best option, but I thought it'd be fun to see what flavors we get this time. And I do have a little chart here to show me what I have, just in case I don't recognize something. Oh, I probably can't eat that. Let me find out. It looks like we've got a chocolate chip cookie, more traditional blondie up here, and then a brownie down below. All right, we had a quick allergy test for safety. They are pecans, so I'm gonna try them. Cheers. Oh, I like this. You kind of end up weaving through the 2 flavors. So you go from more of a brownie, chewy, fudgy, dense, with a soft nut crunchiness to it, then bouncing back to sweet toffiness with chocolate chip. And the edges are better. This is how I like blondies, and I would buy a total ton of these. And what's cooler is looking over the list of options, I think this is an experimental version. I'm excited for more of this. Let's see what's inside bag number 2. What are you? Wait, what? I think this is everything bagel! I can smell the garlic from here. Oh my gosh. I thought it was lemon poppy seed at first because I saw the poppy seeds, but now it's just pure garlic. It smells actually really good, but whatever's in bag number 3, I need to find what's in it first. Okay, detouring. Amazing. Okay, this does not smell like garlic, whatever it is. What even is happening in here? There's like a ton of cornflakes right on top and I can't see anything. I think I smell a marshmallow in here, but there's stuff. Can I get anything out of here? I've got like a vanilla icing and crunchy cornflakes and a blondie. Well, cheers. It's a riff on milk and cereal. So it's a very classic blondie, similar to the cinnamon sugar, but then it's got a sweet icing layer and then crunchy, not super crunchy, but still trying to be crunchy cornflakes. And then the cornflakes have been caramelized and a little bit of sugar. And so you have some crunch. They're a little bit stale in the bag, but I'm not gonna judge for that because this is hilarious. And then you've got the sweet icing and then the blondie, and it all works together. It really is like eating cereal milk on top of blondies. I think this is one where the cornflakes had their own baggie. It would be just fine. It's been stuck in 2 days in transit with icing. Time to kill my palate. It just smells of garlic. It just smells so much of garlic. Well, cheers. This is hard to explain. The closest I'm getting is it's kind of like eating tender cake fudge with garlic pieces, garlic, and a bit of a buttery sweetness and almost an oniony sweetness to it all. And yeah, there are little bits of garlic on top. I do love the level of detail that they have here, that it has a swirl, it looks marbled, it looks really lovely. I think if you couldn't smell it, you could prank someone really hard thinking it's lemon poppy seed. And it is a very tender crumb, more fudgy than cookie-like. And it does work, it's just really weird. My brain does not want to process that this is a savory, slightly sweet cookie that I'm holding in my hands. Yeah. I will say the lingering flavor at the end is sweetness and a bit of vanilla, so it's not as intense as you might think. Not my jam, but I'm glad I tried it. So today I'm filming 2 days after the Blondery box initially arrived, because for the last couple days I've been taste testing the blondies to see how they do, because on the box they very much warn you to eat as soon as possible or chuck it in the freezer. So for the last 2 days, each day approximately the same time, I've been trying the blondies and making notes of how they tasted. And for this whole time they've been in the fridge, mainly because that's how I store baked goods when I'm eating them the day or the day after. What I found was that over time, really just mainly what happened was there was a loss of texture. The flavor was still there, but everything got softer. And actually the cereal for the cereal milk blondies was better on day 2. I found the caramel notes more enhanced, so that was neat. Which is why I'm glad I filmed the entire video at 7:30 that night when they arrived, though the light glare was not the best. So my thoughts. The Blondery does a really good job on elevating the blondie in ways that I've honestly never seen before, and I think that's really cool. The challenge I'm having is the price. While shipping is included, and that's a great deal, I'm so thrilled for that, it's still a luxury good and something that you want to eat pretty quickly, ideally within 24 to 48 hours of it arriving. So it's better for like a party or an event, or maybe you just want to make a lot of milkshakes. I do think also it's worth thinking of the blondies in terms of confections, which do normally run more like $2 to $4, rather than fancy cookies. It helps sort of understand what Chef Auzerais is going for. On the flip side, because everything's so pricey, I think it's worth getting on her mailing list if you're interested at all in trying them out, because that's how I've been doing it. That I was able to get the trims at half off, with shipping included was a great deal and one I would absolutely buy again because that was awesome. So with that, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Are you interested in trying the Blondery? Are you interested in trying the Everything Bagel Blondie? And with that, I'll catch you next time. Later!